Hey guys, how's it going? Been a few days since I posted. I'm in Tempe. Kind of wanted to vent a little bit to my recent frustrations in the digital marketing world. A couple vents, specifically, well, one personal hurdles, personal obstacles to overcome, and how we can achieve those. Because mine is currently I have these infections in my tonsils and so I've had tonsillitis in the last 3 months, 3 times. So yeah, it sucks. If you haven't had tonsillitis, it stinks. I was running a pretty high temperature throughout the last week, and heck, I couldn't even get out of bed one day. um, so anyways, the funny situation, one of the stories that I wanted to talk about overcoming in the digital marketing world, I realized a lot of people don't really like the face-to-face stuff, so you don't ever do your marketing in person. I do. I am a salesman. I do like the face-to-face. I don't only do the face-to-face, but I do prefer it. Hey, Lisa, thanks for watching. Now, when I was sick, I had an appointment that I just couldn't break. I've been trying to get my foot in the door with this plastic surgeon for a while, and I wasn't about to turn it down, even though I was running a temperature. So a few hours before the appointment, I decided to go to urgent care, and they gave me a medicinal steroid for to help the swelling. But it helps with the pain a lot, but I was still groggy and my mind wasn't there. So here's what happened is that during the interview with the plastic surgeon, I'm trying to convince him to how I'm going to get him consultations and leads and everything. And I totally, like, I botched my own sales pitch, right? It's like I started talking about pricing way before I normally do. Like I absolutely do not even start talking about pricing until they ask about pricing. And then I start stacking everything that I'm going to give them. I have to build a perception, and that's my method that I do. I build the perception of everything that you're getting, and I stack it so high, and like, look, you're getting $20,000 worth of stuff. You know, you're getting $10,000 worth of marketing, $10,000 worth of ad spend, $20,000 a month worth of marketing, blah blah blah. You know, but you're getting the results of all that. But I'm charging you this, and usually the range, it can vary between $1,500 to $2,500 a month plus ad spend. So after they see the $20,000 stuff and they get all that, then when the price comes down to the 2,500, then they're like, oh wow, that's actually a lot more affordable. But I didn't do that because I wasn't in the right frame of mind, right? And because I actually handed him the pricing card that I have early, and it was an accident. I didn't mean to hand it to him, but I did. It was like a major facepalm moment. It's like I was a deer in a headlight, right? So I was reliving. I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that I was reliving my my newbie days. So for those of you out there that are just starting out and you're new, it's easy to forget once you how scary it is and how intimidating it is just to like even get on these video calls, right? Like there's a lot of you that might be nervous about doing that, and this actually helps. You know, like say you're a coach, a fitness coach, and you're trying to help people online. So doing these lives is going to help, but you're like, yeah, I have to get on camera. It's scary at first, but like people like me who have been doing it for a long time, we forget that it's a difficult challenge for people, right? So that's just one thing that I wanted to. It was a nice little awakening for me, I guess you could say. It was a nice awakening for me to experience that and relive the experience of being back as wet behind the ears as far as sales are concerned. Now, I didn't lose the sale. The good news is, and here's one thing that you learn, a little trick that you learn, is that even if they get scared by your prices, they're just prices, right? And there was a wise man once told me that if you always want to get your way, just make sure that you have tons of different ways. And you'll always get your way. You know, oh, you don't like that way? Well, here, how about this one? Does this one fit you better? Just have a bunch of different ways that you can offer. So essentially what I ended up having to do was I had to work overtime with a high temperature and so much pain, but got to muscle through it. I worked up this really long proposal generating, because we talked about all his goals, And so he actually threw out a number as I was walking out of his office. He actually threw out a number of where he thought in his mind we were going to meet. And sometimes they don't do that. Sometimes you're not lucky enough to get that. But in this case, I was lucky enough to get that. He threw the number out for me. And the number he said, he's like, I was looking at about 1,500, 2,000 tops. And that was including ad spend. And I was like, yikes, personally, I don't want to take on a client for less than $2,500 my fee, right? Or excuse me, less than $1,500 my fee. Ad spend on top of that's going to be another $1,000, $2,000 to get the best results, right? So I was like, yikes, okay. So I went home and I generated a proposal, right? And I'm like, I can actually spin this to my advantage. So I started thinking about different ways that I can formulate this. Just doing a Facebook ad generation with a simple sales funnel and kind of like minimizing my work to maximize the output at the same time. So I did a long proposal and I actually was able to meet him. I actually got under it. I think I came in somewhere around $1,700 after ad spend. The minimum ad spend. I hope he doesn't do that. I hope he goes with the maximum. The maximum puts us at like or the recommended ad spend puts us at like $2,300. I hope he goes with that one. I haven't heard back from him yet. It's still early. But the point of all this that I'm trying to make is that rejection is going to be the biggest deterrent. Heck, even just the fear of rejection, not even rejection itself, just the fear of rejection is going to be the biggest deterrent for you. When it comes to building your business, when it comes to growing your business, because that ultimately prevents you from doing what's necessary, right? Like obviously my situation with the tonsillitis, I could have called him and tried to reschedule that meeting, right? And that might have been advantageous on my part to go in there with a clear head and to do it right. But at the same time, now that I've got his attention, he's only warm to me for a short duration of time, right? He's only warm to me for a window. Leads go cold. If I don't take advantage of it, there's an old expression is that when you take opportunities, those opportunities grow quickly. If you miss those opportunities, they go flat. So if I were to, I'm not a big fan of delaying, right? And I'm like, okay, there's a possibility that maybe if I would have delayed the chance and done the meeting on a different date, he would have been okay with that. But there could have been another chance that he's on the phone with another marketing agency and he's talking to them as well. You see what I'm saying? So it's really important that I have to show him how bad I want to make him money, how bad I want to offer that service. And even if I am more expensive, the fact that I'm going in there, I let him know that I was under the weather too. I wasn't feeling 100%. But the fact that he sees that I'm going out of my way, above and beyond, even though my pricing might be too high for him, everything else, I've got full intention of actually building a platform for him. He's now that's more than the other marketing companies are doing. And I'll tell you right now, and I'm just going to throw this out there for you, for those of you that are doing agencies, okay? In the digital world that we are in, and I love it. That's how I'm making money. I'm doing digital marketing for agencies or for companies, for small businesses. I love it. In a digital world, if you go face to face, you have the advantage. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to put that right there. You don't even have to be good face to face, okay? No one else is doing it. No one else is doing it. You remember how they used to always have signs on the door, no solicitors? They really don't have that anymore. Most places don't. I mean, I'm sure some places do. But I'm sorry, but all those people selling SEO and Facebook ads, they're all sending spam emails, right? So it's something to think about and consider. That's why I like going in face to face and dropping off my card. Because then after I drop off my card, I then send a follow-up email. And you'd be surprised how many more responses you get from that email than you did the cold email of just sending it. Because now they're like, oh, I have his business card. Well, I'll send a quick reply. Well, thanks. Yeah, I got your business card. We're not looking for this at that time. But the fact that they responded, it now builds some kind of trust, familiarity. You can at least start a conversation. So that's my rant that I wanted to get on right now. Getting sick sucks. But I wanted to let everybody know that overcoming these obstacles and overcoming the adversity that's thrown before us, that is what it's all about. in any business, in any niche, in any marketing aspect, you gotta, it's test, retest, right? And I looked at this as an opportunity. I'm being tested. It didn't go the way that I wanted, and I didn't close the sale then and there, which is another thing. I hate walking out of meetings without closing sales because it's so hard to get that later. But that's a video for another day. But I may not have closed the sale, but I did learn a huge lesson. And to me, the lesson was don't skip the most, don't hand the pricing over too soon. That's probably the most important step. So anyways, there's a lot to be learned with this, but I hope everybody's getting stuff from this group. I haven't made a video in a while, so I wanted to jump back on and say hello. All right, I hope you guys are doing great and having a fantastic week, and we will talk again soon.